Hey everybody, good afternoon, I guess. It's 1 o'clock here, Eastern Time. And I don't usually do videos on the weekends, but I'm reading this book, Conversations with God, An Uncommon Dialogue. This is book one. There are actually, I think, 3 books by Neale Donald Walsch. And so for those of you that are perhaps not all that religious, I want to be clear that this book is, to me at least, much more philosophical than it is truly religious, and it sort of fits with the law of attraction and The Secret, if you've ever heard of The Secret, and a bunch of other things like that. But I was reading this after my Bible reading last night, so I think I've mentioned before, I committed to reading the Bible back in January every day, and then I really quickly fell off the wagon. And so I decided to start again August 1st, and I'm doing a reading plan, but I'm reading actually 3 days worth every day so that I can still finish by the end of 2016. And I know people are going to give me advice about I have to slow down and I have to understand it better and study and this and that. And I'll probably get there. But for me right now, the important thing to do was to read it for knowledge, really, maybe more than complete understanding, because moving from Pennsylvania to Georgia and living in the Bible Belt has been a really different experience for me than religion was in Pennsylvania, and I wasn't born and raised in church, so praying happens at public meetings here, and so that's a different thing that I'm used to. And I was kind of getting frustrated because people were using scripture to make opposing arguments, and I wanted to read it for myself and make some meaning of it myself. But that's a tangent completely. But there was this part in this book, again, let me show you, Conversations with God, An Uncommon Dialogue, that I wanted to read to you because oh my gosh, it spoke to me last night, and I think it speaks a lot to life coaching, right? And so I'm just really interested. I don't even know that I have meaning to make of it yet, but I wanted to throw it out there and see what you all thought. And so on page 16, the author starts talking about that there's only really 2 types of feelings you can have, and that's love and fear. So that hit me like a ton of bricks, because I really care about words and I choose my words wisely, and I care about emotion words, feeling words. And so to come to this sense that there's only 2 feeling words that really exist, love and fear. I need to sit in a dark room with a candle lit about that for a few minutes. But anyway, the author says, and so it is that the moment you pledge your highest love, you greet your greatest fear. For the first thing you worry about after saying, I love you, is whether you'll hear it back. And if you hear it back, then you begin immediately to worry that the love you have just found you will lose. And so all action becomes a reaction, defense against loss, even as you seek to defend yourself against the loss of God. And then when you flip over a page, so several paragraphs have happened in between, but this is the other part that I thought was really powerful. Fear is the energy which contracts, closes down, draws in, runs, hides, hoards, harms. Love is the energy which expands, opens up, sends out, stays, reveals, shares, heals. Fear wraps our bodies in clothing. Love allows us to stand naked. Fear clings to and clutches all that we have. Love gives all that we have away. Fear holds close. Love holds dear. Fear grasps. Love lets go. Fear rankles. Love soothes. Fear attacks. Love amends. You have been taught to live in fear. You have been told about the survival of the fittest and the victory of the strongest and the success of the cleverest. So it connected with me, I think, because I think it resonates, right? There's fear and there's love. And we have so much fear that we're not enough, fear that we're going to get rejected, fear that we're not pretty enough, strong enough, thin enough, smart enough, successful enough, wealthy enough. Whatever it is, we have all this fear. But man, if we could really just learn to love ourselves, how differently would we show up in the world? How differently would we treat one another? whether they're people we know or people we don't, people that we love or people that frustrate us or have harmed us in some way. And I would argue that this is exactly what coaching does. It gets us out of our own fear and challenges us to love ourselves enough to pursue our dreams, to pursue our visions, to look fear in the face and go for it anyway. I hope that sits with you. I hope it resonates with you. I'd love to hear what you think. Like I said, I know this is a different conversation than I normally have with you all on Facebook Lives. But again, Conversations with God, An Uncommon Dialogue. This is book 1 by Neale Donald Walsch, W-A-L-S-C-H. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. What are you afraid of? How has love saved you from your fear? Big, big questions. Big, big questions. So I'm Nikki Tobias with Grounded Vision Coaching. Can't wait to see what your comments are. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing the videos and liking them and loving them and commenting on them. I couldn't do it without all of you. Have a great Saturday. Bye-bye.